Hey guys, it is Mike, and I am continuing my franchise review of the Children of the Corn movies. Um, we are up to the remake that was done in 2009. This thing, um, I really cannot say anything good about that movie. It, I don't want my remakes to be a shot-for-shot copy of the original. I'm all for shaking things up, making the characters a little bit different, and they kind of did that with the pairing of the couple. So Bert is played by David Andrews. He's a white guy, and Vicky is played by Candace McClure. She's a light skinned black girl, beautiful. Um, that right there made it interesting to me when I first started watching it. The problem is they apparently hate each other because all they do from the beginning of this movie until the end of this movie for them, it's fight. Carry on. We should be married. Blah blah blah. Okay, so this was a sci-fi channel movie. I get it. I get that they don't have the same kind of budget that you see in the theaters and other companies that do direct to video movies. Gotcha. I gave it a little bit of space for that. But there have been some decent sci-fi movies out there. One of my favorites is Hallowed Ground. So we have this movie. There's Isaac, there's Malachi, there's some of the other people from the original. Of course, the Blue Man is still hanging in the field. Um, but yeah, there is not one redeeming person in this movie. Not one. Mm-mm. Nope. Can't stand Bert. In the original, at least Bert and Vicky were in love. He was a doctor. They were just kind of normal people. They just happened to be on this crazy road. Um, and this one, they just they didn't like each other, or if they did, they only showed it in certain parts of this. I don't know. It was just nuts. Yeah, they both just annoyed the hell out of me. He was a uh, veteran of war, and he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. So we had all of that to deal with in some of the scenes where he's crawling through the field, um, trying to hide from the kids, and all of a sudden he's back in the war, and he's seeing soldiers, and yeah, nope. Um, and then she really could have been such an interesting character, but she just whined and complained and screamed and cried, and there was no interaction between them and the kids. In the first one, you had Joby and Sarah. I think that's what her name was, Sarah. And there was a little bit of a relationship between them, and those two kids were decent. They were, you know, there was not one decent kid in this movie. Not one. Nope, they were all just little robots. In the original, the young boy who played Isaac was pretty forceful. I mean, as annoying as he was, and that voice of his would go right through me, even watching it again. I just keep thinking, oh Lord. But at least he had some pizzazz or some force in him. When he was barking orders and telling them to do stuff and preaching his little blah blah blah, he was pretty forceful. The kid who's playing it in this movie, God love him, he is adorable. Nothing. The most. Oh my God, his voice was just like a little boy's voice, and all he would do is point at things, and his little robot boys would go after. And that was another thing. It was mainly the boys that went after the people. To where in the original, they were kind of a equal opportunity slasher. The boys and the girls, they both just went after him. This movie made no sense to me at all. Uh, Malachi was a character, really. I mean, in the first movie, he was pretty important. He kind of was the second-hand man. In this one, not so much. And really, he was the guy who played Malachi was almost too pretty to be Malachi. So yeah, we have an hour of 50 minutes. Um, they had $4 million to work with, and they created this, whatever this is. So this movie will not be making my shelf. It will be I don't know what the other two will bring. We'll see. But I don't need this one in my life. God. All right, guys. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.